What's up, everybody? Welcome to Saturday night. It's Ben's Bricks Design. We're here today to work on a little build action here. We're going to be doing the Geonosian fighter from episode 2. We're going to be drinking some beverages. We're going to be playing with some bricks. Going to be showing off the work we've done on the Capitol today. We're going to be talking about Barks for Beers. We're going to be promoting some local rescue groups, some dog rescue groups, and we're going to be having a good time. So welcome to it. I'm going to try to pull up my chat on my phone so I can see what everybody's saying. I'd like to welcome the Lego Geek. Thanks for joining us, man. Even if you have it on in the background, we're just going to be kind of chilling for about an hour and a half, maybe more. I've got a pizza on order, so a pizza might be here shortly. Doorbell may ring, so we'll see what's going on. So what's been happening this week? If you don't know, and again, let me know if you can't hear anything, if you can't hear my voice, if you can't hear music, if you can't see something, let me know in the chat, and I'll see what we can figure out. So this week has been more Barks for Beers. If you're not aware of it and you're in Austin, Barks for Beers is a charitable organization, or it is a event that's put on by a charitable organization called Divine Canine, and the pizza's from Marco's Pizza, which kind of newly discovered Marco's Pizza. We're actually pretty happy with that. Their wings are pretty good, and the pizza is fairly tasty, and they keep giving us coupons for it, so I may have to tag this video with Marco's Pizza. The Divine Canines does they do training for not rehabilitation, but dogs that do support for medical needs dogs. The term is escaping me right now, but it's thank you, therapy dogs. And what happens is every May you pay X amount to buy a pint glass, and the pint glass then gets, and the little passport or passport that you get has stamps on it that you get from local breweries. And so every time you go to one of the breweries, you get a free pour. You don't have to take the glass, but you take the passport, and then you get a free pour. So all the money goes towards Divine Canine, so it's a great cause. They were at a brewery in Austin last week called the Brutorium, where we also ran into Blue Dog Rescue. And Blue Dog Rescue is a foster program and an adoption program that pulls dogs from the pounds, the places in Austin that the words are escaping me. Beth? Shelters. I've got my girlfriend helping me with basic English tonight. Yeah. And so they pull from area shelters, and then the program is basically set up to where you can adopt or foster a dog. And foster, not really foster for adoption, but foster so somebody else can adopt. But they do also have an adoption program. So I'd like to give them a shout out. We won we did a silent auction at the Brutorium, and my girlfriend, Beth, won the silent auction, and we got a gift basket with a 6-pack of St. Arnold's beers, 6 different kinds, a couple pint glasses, some T-shirts, and a neat sort of tile that you hang on the wall with a bottle opener, and a Frisbee and some other stuff. But it goes to a good cause, so if you can support them, support local shelters, support local breweries, support local anything that helps drive local economies, that kind of stuff. So that's my shout out. There's a link in the description for them. So if you're looking to adopt a dog and you're in the Austin area, that's a good place to start. Your county just got a new canine service. That's fantastic. I know nothing about the police in our county or their canine service, but that's good to know that hopefully they're treating their dogs well. I know canine dogs are probably some of the best taking care of dogs around, and you can actually adopt old canine dogs, and they make for outstanding pets. So that's great. every time I hear canine, I think of the Doctor Who dog, canine. You know, yes, master. So that's kind of fun. So that's what we're drinking tonight at St. Arnold's. I've got the Orange Show, which is it's a blood orange. It's a blonde ale with blood orange. I don't know if I can. That's what it looks like there on the build camera. And then I've got this for later, the Pub Crawl, which is just a regular old pale ale. So that's what we're doing tonight. I think just 2. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through 2 in 2 hours, but we'll see what happens. So what we're building tonight is the Capitol. Yeah, before we start building, I'm going to see if I can do the webcam here. This is about how far we've got on the Capitol. You can see the walls are starting to take shape. I've got both porches on west and east side taking shape. See if the camera cable can go a little longer. So we've got some, and the sidewalks are mostly done around the front. You can see how many tiles. These are all 1x1 tiles. So there are 11,000 of these 1x1 tiles around. So that side needs to be done. That side's pretty much done. And again, I had some friends / builders from the user group in today, and they built these walls here. So we'll just have to repeat this about 8 times around it, at least 8 times, 16 times. So that's what's going on there. You can see the number of parts that we're still working with down there. Those boxes are full of parts. We're not exactly short of parts anymore. We've got a couple dozen probably that still need to be ordered and brought in, but it's all these small bits of brick now. So that, if you couldn't tell, really, there was a and I kind of show over here too. That's the computer setup over there. There's the owl. Again, I got a link in the description for the owl if you haven't already. It's an ideas project, so go support it. That'd be great. But you can see we've got the computer running with the layout of the building. So if anybody ever wants to come over, hey, if you're a lug viewer right now and you don't know about the project, come over and help build. I'll give you my garage code and you can come in and help build the thing. We can need all the builders we can get, because we've got to get this done in like a month and a half. So I don't think it's going to happen. I'm kind of resigned to the part where we're not going to get this done, but I'm optimistic. If we can get more stuff like this done, it might actually come together. So we'll see. Will I go to Brick Fair, Virginia? You know what? Ooh, this is actually pretty good. The Orange Show. I have been to exactly 2, and I'm going to, oh, you know what I need to do? I need to bring up this, and you're not going to see this, so that's good. I haven't been to any Lego conventions outside of Texas, and I've only been to 2 here. So I'd like to start going to more of them. But I'm kind of new to the whole, and this is Geonosian Fighter, this is what we're working on now. I'm new to the whole convention scene. I've known that there have been conventions for years now, but I'm just off of doing the comic book conventions. I used to draw comic books, and I kind of got burned out a little bit by the comic convention stuff. So going to places that don't have any of my family members in it, and it's not a strict vacation, kind of seems a little odd for me right now. But I've told myself that I want to try to go to Philly, I want to try to go to Seattle, Virginia, Alabama's probably got one. There's probably some other large conventions that I need to be a part of. I also don't know much more about traveling to a convention where I'm not showing anything, because while in Austin I've been able to bring mocks and volunteer and stuff like that. So, so going to Virginia or going to Philly or any of those other ones will be kind of a new experience, going as kind of just the true, visitor, kind of a fan rather than sort of part of the group. So, so let's get started on this. Once this is done, because this will take about 20 minutes, I'm sure, we can go back to working on the DH Omni that we worked on last week, which is sort of the Legacy era, or the Legends, not Legacy era, but a Legends cargo ship, a CIS cargo ship. If you'd like to build this ship too, and I've got the instructions on another screen, but you don't probably need to see that. But if you'd like to build this ship, the link to Rebrickable, where I have all these designs built, is in the description, and you can go check out those. I have about 60 designs that have instructions, and feel free to go have fun with those. I have several that I've built that probably need to be reworked, because I've got them in real life, and then I've built them out, and then thanks, man. Thanks for coming by, the Lego Geek. It was good for you to hang out for a little bit. I appreciate it. And I'll see you next week, if you can be here next week. So again, a lot of these designs I'll pull up. They'll work out really well in the software, and then I put them together in real life, and there's something that is not great. So there's a trial and error, and I try to go back and fix whatever I've done in the software. But again, sometimes software just doesn't have the doesn't have gravity, doesn't have a good amount of weight. It sometimes doesn't really show where the collisions are, even though every time should in Studio show where the collisions are. So, and like this is going to be a small one, but I'm not really sure if it's going to work or not. So we're going to try it out. This is a good snot build, because this is going to be all like this. It's going to be all, with these like 1x2 with the studs on both sides. These are kind of a favorite of people who like doing snot building. And for you non-Lego builders, snot stands for studs not on top. So anytime you build something, most Lego sets, everything's like this, but more and more they've, kind of put these on it so it's twisting around, and you can get panels and slopes on going at fun angles. This is a smaller of the things that I've built. This isn't very many pieces. You can see every piece is here. I don't have a lot of, like the TIE bomber was kind of an abomination. It was a good 150 pieces. This is probably more like 80 some pieces. But hopefully it'll turn out to be a good little ship. And I do have an official Geonosian that we can put in afterwards. So we'll see if he fits as well. This is him. I didn't get the one with the wings, but he's an official Geonosian. I want to say Geonosian, and I don't know why. So, and I just did the instructions for this just a few days ago, so we'll see if this holds up. Sometimes my instructions are a little weird. Ostrich bricks. This is minifig scale, in that it's a microfighter. Welcome, by the way, Ostrich Bricks. I haven't seen your name before, so thanks for stopping by the feed. This is minifig scale in that it is a microfighter. So it is a microfighter scale, and there will be a minifig in it. So you'll see when we're done building it where the minifigure goes. But it is not going to be actual minifig scale, if that makes sense. Right, so the wingless ones are the drones. I didn't want to, the other thing was I didn't want to, because the winged ones are actually, they look cool. I like them better. The print on him is a little better design, but the way I have him sitting in this was not gonna work with wings because it would have bumped into the back where I had him sitting. So we'll see how this works. I'm pretty sure this will work out pretty well. The figure that I had put in there was just some random alien-headed thing because Studio doesn't have a good array of alien heads and alien bodies, so it will be a surprise to me too. A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. So yeah, this was a suggestion of a friend of mine when I put to Trending Brick, what's up? A friend of mine in the chat a couple weeks ago was like, do that one. So we're like, okay, I'm going to do that one. Again, I've got a giant list of stuff that I need to design, but also, and I'll put it to the group here to see which one I want to build or I want to order parts for next time, because I've got a shoebox full of ones that I've parted out that I need to do a Bricklink order for, and it's always fun to get a little input on that because I'm not indecisive. I think it'd be fun to have somebody else pick. So there's, you know, the bottom half and then the gun in the middle. It's supposed to be a round ball, but I don't know if that's in camera or not. It's supposed to be a ball shape, but at this size I couldn't quite get that, so I cheated with some 1x1 round tiles. Oh, and that goes, so do that in the back. Oh, that may have to be done earlier. That works. So that's a good example of where I kind of messed up on the instructions, because this 1x2 probably could have gone on, like, put these two slopes together with that and then put it in place, because it has to kind of go under these studs. That's all right. We'll make do. And then another one of these guys. And I'm actually looking forward to kind of the snugness of the way I've got this going, so I'm excited to see if this works out. Yeah, designing these as actual sets rather than mocks. Yeah, it's fun to do. I mean, technically this is a, you know, Lego has made this as a set. I'm just making it smaller. I like the idea of, if I were to play with this, if I were a kid who had these, I just realized my camera's way off. Sorry about that. If I were a kid who wanted these, I try to make them tight and swooshable, so they fit together well and they can be played with. Some of them aren't, like the Geonosian fighter that I made. Well, technically that wasn't my design, but from reverse engineering it, putting it together, it's really fragile. Even the GR75 wasn't that really well done. And that's kind of small, so let's see. Music brought to you by DJ Cutman, just in case anyone was looking. Oh, by the way, what witchcraft is this? 1x1 brackets in dark orange. I never thought I'd see the day. This was almost the whole reason I could design this set. Like, I didn't think I was going to be able to do this without these guys. You can get the neck pieces, and I thought maybe I could do a brown or something, but these just work better. Plus, I feel like I should have ordered just a ton of them. I don't know that I'm going to do a whole lot with dark orange, but I was making a joke with somebody that I should just do a whole starship done in dark orange and sand green. Just because those are not super rare colors anymore. There's been a lot since the Statue of Liberty came out. There have been a lot. And then I guess Apocalypseburg. A couple other sets used a lot of sand green. So it's not as random as it used to be. So I just found out, and this is just a bit of sort of conversational bits, that I had planned on doing BrickFiesta, doing some live streaming at BrickFiesta, and I only do YouTube. I don't do Restream, and I don't do Twitch or Mixer or anything like that. I have a friend who also does Mixer, so shout out to Goldilocks and the Bear. And she's like, yeah, you should totally do Mixer. I don't think anyone really does Lego on Mixer. I've seen a handful of people do some Twitch stuff, but... So anyway, I'm thinking about doing that because I just found out that unless you have 1,000 subscribers, you cannot use a mobile device to live stream on YouTube. So that kind of sucks because I think I need like 960 some subscribers by the end of June in order to do that, which I can't even think of a giveaway contest that would give me 1,000 subscribers in a month and a half. But anyway, that kind of sucks. So that means I either have to, if I wanted to do Twitch, so I don't know if Restream will do it. Like if I could Restream and just kind of fake it, but I don't know how, if it's going to recognize that I'm not doing that or what. But I was really hoping to be able to live stream some BrickFiesta, and now unless I just carry my backpack around with me with a laptop in it and a webcam, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that. Sand green was rare because of Alice Finch's castle. I'm not familiar with that. Was that a Harry Potter thing? I could probably look it up. That's the one thing I've noticed about being involved in Lego a lot is that, and here's an instruction step that I hate that I get from Lego all the time. Here's step one. Put these two things together, right? And then that's it. There's nothing to hold them together. Hope you're on a flat surface. Building with Lego and doing all this kind of stuff it makes me realize how much I actually don't know about Lego. And I'm sure everybody kind of gets this way. In that maybe amongst your friends, you are the Lego guy. You are the one that knows most about it, and every time something comes up with Lego, all your friends share that on your Facebook page and are like, hey, look at this thing. And you're like, yep, I saw that like 2 weeks ago. But then you hang out with other Lego people and you're like, oh my God, I know nothing. I don't know what that part number is. I don't know what that set is. And I've been collecting and building for, since I was a baby. Well, not a baby, but I was very young. And I started buying and keeping all my old Legos since I was about 14. And that was 1986, 87. So the first couple sets that I was buying was Futuron space sets, which means I'm old. I'm not as old as some, but still. But even then, like with the, several tens of thousands of bricks that I've got, I feel like I know nothing about Lego. Like when I hang out with people, it's just like, oh, you only have 50,000 Lego bricks? That's a good start. You're like, really? That's what we're focusing on? All right, that's coming together. I don't know why I have this extra one. Look at that. I mean, I know Lego offers extra pieces, but that seems like an egregious extra piece. I must have had an extra one and just threw it in here knowing I had to order more. So I'll just have to put that back in the wedges bag. And look at that. Got an extra one of those too. Must have had one of those. So this is our microfighter Geonosian fighter. Very small, very swooshable, but I think it's a good size. I think it's the right size for a Geonosian fighter. So let's stick our figure in here. Figure brought to you by Creative Brick Builders. They have all your resale needs. If you're in Austin / Round Rock, they offer a lot of party spaces. They do resell figures and sets, and they've got loose brick. It's a great place. I got a lot of figures from them. I just went in and emptied them out on some Star Wars figures because I figured I knew which ones I was going to need for my microfighters, so I just grabbed a bunch and bought them up. All right, so that's it. That took 25 whole minutes. That's our microfighter Geonosian fighter. I really like the way that turned out. Yeah, ostrich bricks, you're never going to get past people calling them Legos. It's just a thing. It's just a human nature to want to call something a plural like that. It's just the way it goes. My girlfriend used to say it, and I used to correct her a lot when we were dating earlier, but now I don't even care if she says it wrong or right or whatever. I try not to say anything because after a while you're just like, well, I'm being a pedantic idiot. So... No, stream's not over. We're just doing this. Now, we're going to work on some other stuff. You know what? Now that we got 5 people in here, I'm going to get some voting going on. So I'm going to add this. I'm going to put this back in my bag. Actually, I'm going to get a stand for it. Do I still have some of these translucent no, I don't. So I'm going to have to buy some more of those because I'm out. But I like these guys. And then I like, let's see, this was on Geonosis, which is sort of a dark orange. That's not really dark orange. I don't know if I have dark orange 4x anything plates. So we'll do tan. Geonosis is kind of tan-ish. And I can do a little one for this guy. So I like the translucent 1x2x6. 5, and this guy's gonna have to sit up in the front a little bit. Oh, you know what? This is gonna be an interesting one because it's upside down. So I forget what I do for these. Well, for now, you know what we can do? Let's just do this. I'm just gonna turn the whole thing upside down because it'll still stay. And boom, done. So that's the stand. I have to buy some 1x8 tiles for all the ones that I've built. I've got, I don't know, 12 of them. Microfighter Star Wars creatures. So, funny you should ask that because I know you haven't been on here before, so I know that I've been working on a Bantha. I've been trying to reverse engineer a Bantha for a while, and I just cannot do it. And now we have a dewback. We have the Microfighter dewback. I also have a Banga, I think is what it's called. The the bird lizard thing that Obi-Wan rides around in episode 2, also episode 2. And, oh no, that's episode 3. And I could probably kind of reverse engineer it based off the dewback and like flatten out its legs and give it some plumage and maybe change the face up a little bit. Basic design is going to be the same, so that might be a possibility. There's a bunch of critters that can be done microfighter scale that, as long as there's a mount, like it's something that's domesticated or can be ridden, could probably get away with. Anything that's just kind of a random, like I don't know that I'd do the asteroid worm thing because that's not really anything that I can put a figure on. If you can put a figure on it, you know, that's great. That's perfect. So this guy's done. I'm really proud of that one. That one works out well. I'm a little not happy with kind of these things on the side, but I tried to make it as circular as I could, given the small space. But I think it looks like it. I think it's kind of unmistakably a Geonosian fighter, so that's great. So I'm going to let you guys decide, the people who are here now. As you can see, I've got a shoebox full of ones that I've parted out, but I don't have all the parts for. So I have to order some BrickLink stuff. So the ones we have are, I have a TIE Advanced, I have Ray's Speeder. That's pizza, Beth. Thank you. I have an Eclipse Fighter. This was the, I forget what the Eclipse Fighter is for. I think that was the the Freemaker Adventures. I have an M86 speeder. This is the Han Solo speeder. And again, I have most of the figures for these already, so that's why I chose these. I have a Jedi Delta 7B, not to be confused with the Jedi Delta 7 fighter. I have a First Order Dreadnought. I have Punishing One with Dengar. I have an ATTE. I have a Sand Speeder. I have most of a Sand Speeder. This is, what else is this? I have a TIE Reaper. Naboo Starfighter. We may get to Naboo Starfighter in a second because this was one that I had a thing for that it was a design by somebody else. And I liked it, so I started collecting the parts for it. But then the Lego group came up with their own, so I'm like, well, I still want to build it because I like this one better than the one the Lego group's come up with. ATAP, which is, I need the green parts for this, but I've got Commander Gree in that. And then, what's last? The Jek 14 Stealth Fighter. The Jek 14 Stealth Fighter is still in this box because the Jek 14 figure is really expensive. Oh, and I also have a Gungan Bongo, which I'm really shocked that they actually don't have this one. No, just, I'm okay. Thank you very much. Pizza break. So a TIE Crawler, I have a design for a TIE Crawler. I have, let me pull this up. Now that we're done building, I'm going to switch cameras. So let's go to my Google Drive. Let me show you it. So here's all the instructions that I have currently. And I'll show you the list really quick. Make sure it's not the wrong one. Which one is this? So I think I have a TIE Crawler on my list and a TIE Mauler. Yeah, this is probably a good one. So a TIE Crawler would be probably pretty easy. I've actually started designing one. So anyway, this is the list. This is the official list of all the official ones. I didn't buy these, but I BrickLinked these. These are the ones I don't have that are official. These are the ones that I've designed. And you can see I've got 100 and, I don't know how many, 160 something. So I've already designed all these. I just have to build them all. These have been designed by other people. And I've reverse engineered those based off of photos and whatnot. And these are the ones that I'm working on. So I'm working on a Bantha. Right now I'm working on the DH Omni. So we'll go to that in a second, and then we'll just kind of finish out the chat or the stream doing that. But you can see I've got a bunch of TIEs on here that need to be designed. I thought I had TIE Crawler on here, but apparently I don't. But I mean, I've got a bunch of TIE stuff on here. I probably just put TIE Variant at some point. Because TIE Crawler and TIE Mauler are kind of the same thing, but this is the to design section, and it's still a bunch. And then I've got like a bunch of non-Star Wars things that I want to design. The only one I've done is the Raza from, I forget the show, Dark something. I never watched it. Somebody asked if I could do it, so I did that one. But anyway, yeah, I could add a TIE Crawler and a TIE Mauler, and I've got some uglies, like I did a bunch of uglies. So anyway, now that that's built, we can flip over to Studio and open up what we were working on last time. Open recent, DH Omni. So if you don't know what the DH Omni is, it's a weird old ship from, oh, there goes that. It's from like a Legends era kind of thing, but it's a CIS ship, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know where it was seen. It says Clone Wars, but I don't remember seeing this anywhere in any of the Clone Wars. So I just picked it because it was the top of the list. I could do an Oliphant. That'd be kind of fun. Give it the big old perch nest thing on the back and give it a little driver, a crazy driver with a lot of tattoos on it. Again, it'll have to be like minifig scale, so anyway, this is the DH Omni. Lord of the Rings series would be all right, but the thing about animals, with the exceptions of the Oliphants, is they're already very small. There's a handful of Star Wars vehicles that I've done, but they seem small. Like Trending Brick was talking about the Hailfire droid, which it doesn't have a vehicle in it, but he's done a microfighter Hailfire droid, and first of all, it's fantastic. But second of all, it's not much bigger than like a spider droid or something like that. I mean, it's not one that you would associate with like having a microfighter scale, like a super deformed or chibi scale. And so having like, you know, Shelob as a microfighter kind of small scale, or a Ringwraith, Ringwraith Fell Beast as one of those, it would be cute. But I don't know, you could probably do like 4 of them. You could do a Fell Beast, an Eagle, which doesn't have a rider. You could do Smaug, which doesn't have a rider. So you could do some things. So you'd be surprised. The Hailfire droid is not that big. It's not big compared to like the quad leg spider droid. It's just kind of like this little wheeled thing that just scoots along and flings a bunch of missiles at stuff. It's not terribly big. In comparison, like, I mean, it's still like maybe 30 meters higher. The wheels are not 30 meters, but like 30 feet high. So it's not as big as like a SPAT or a LAT or an ATTE or something like that. They're smaller than ATTEs. So anyway, this is a DH Omni. I'm just gonna keep plugging away at this guy. This is where we left it last week. So of all the ones that I named, if you guys saw one that you thought would be fun to build, let me know and I'll order the parts for it for next time. I have all the, I think if I don't have the Google Drive link in the description, I can put it there. And it's free for anybody to look at. You can pull down, I've got the wanted list for everything, XML version, so you can go to BrickLink and order and put in all the parts and create a wanted list for it. And then you can order the parts. I've got a handful of instructions in there too, and most of them are on Rebrickable. You can go to Rebrickable and download them. As always, there's the donate button. And there's also the Lego Ideas project that I've got going on that still needs votes for my owl, for my barn owl. So check that out as well. So I'm going to try to do, and I don't know why this looks weird. It's like the resolution is off. Like all the text is kind of funny on it. So I'm going to try to do, I don't have really a minifig save, so I'm going to try to do, the problem is I was going to do Pong Krell with a DH Omni, and I don't know why. Pong Krell. But Pong Krell is a double-fisted person, right? This is him in Lego version, and I don't know how I'm going to be able to, the thing about having him as a Lego figure in Studio is that I can just smash stuff together. So he has like, let's see, hips. I'm going to start with the hips. So we'll do some hips. I don't know if he has like a gun hip. Gun belt hip. Nope. He's got definite leg, right. Yeah, something's going on with the resolution. Everything looks smushed. Leg left. Since he has that double body, and I'm not really even sure how he's got that body. I think his head and shoulders are all one piece that then goes over like a double section. Like this is a regular minifigure section, but it might be two. Not really sure. Don't have this figure. Don't even know what figure this is part of. I know it came with something. It probably came with sort of a, if I scroll down enough, I'm sure to find it. It probably came with like a Clone Wars. Oh, look at that. It came with the Z95 Headhunter. You know what? I might have this guy. My son has a Z95 Headhunter that he is unwilling to let go of. He's got a set of Legos. He won't allow me to take the Lego that he's got and incorporate it into my own. But he also, like he said at one point, he's like, Dad, don't buy me any more Lego.
There's son sitting right here.
Oh, he knows. He knows this conversation. But he's like, don't buy me any more Lego for Christmas or birthdays. I'm like, oh, all right. So, you know, because I tried to encourage building and creativity. And, oh, my God, this resolution is really disturbing me. But he was like, I don't want any more. I'm like, all right, fair enough. But then he's just sitting on like 20 sets. But he's like, no, you can't have them. And I'm like, oh, man. But I think one of them is a Z95 Headhunter, which means I have that figure somewhere in my house. So, oh, this is really messing me up. I'm going to do something real quick. Save, and then I'm going to close this. I'm wondering if it has to do with, because I don't think, like, Chrome looks fine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is two parts. Hello, Hushed Tan Staffel. Am I reading that right? Yes. Hello. Thank you for coming. Thank you for visiting. And yeah, I think it's yeah, this isn't any better. I don't know what's going on with this. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's a regular torso, and then it's got like a almost like another torso, like a half a torso on top of that, and then like the head piece, like the head and cloak are one piece. Like Chewie, like the head and then the fur. So it's like the head and the cloak are one piece, and then like there's another piece in underneath that has the. So what we can do just to make it, and I'm gonna have to save this for later, but you can cram these things onto each other in here and just not make it look right. If you turn off the collision, right, and then you just take this guy and smash it down here like that, and then you turn off collision and look at that. You can kind of like pretend, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm not going to worry about it now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to give him, it's just going to be a regular, since he doesn't have anything that gets in the way front or back wise, I'm okay with like him being taller than everything. So I'm just going to do a basic, because I want to be able to put a minifigure in here so I can see what the spacing is. So let's put an arm in there. Oh, so that's another thing. That's like one of those things that, and they said it's like a four-arm Ninjago. I have never bought a Ninjago set. Just call you James. James from TechSlug. Hey, James from TechSlug. How's it going? Is this James helping me buy all the discounted Walmart, James? Yeah, there's the 2 arms that like the Rio Durant has, which is actually 2 molded arms, and then I think this is like the double stacked thing where you actually have 2 different arms. But I have never bought a Lego set, or I've never bought an Ninjago Lego set. Not that I haven't liked them, but it's one of those things where if somebody wants to give me one, that's okay. I'm not going to say no. But I am also not gunning for them. Like, I like them enough. I think they're cool looking. Just not my cup of tea. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where are you going, dude? No, 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 no. Oh, these have to rotate individually because they're slightly off. So James has kindly asked that if I wanted to go clearance shopping with him, he'd let me know, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't like really go out of my way to look for clearance items, but like every time I'm near a Walmart, I'm like, well, I'm going to pop in and see if there's any clearance Lego that I can find. And it never fails. I'm never able to find any. And even if I find some on the sites that people use to look up per scans, or per like DLC, what is that code? The DIO code or something like that, or the SKU, and they're like, yeah, we've got 2 of these, and then I drive all the way out to BFE to find them, and they're not there. Minifig head, man, come on. Minifig head. Oh, jeez. I just want a stupid... No, I don't want a baby. So James was offering the other day to take me to these places. He's like, hey, I go on these runs, and, you know, I spend half a day doing it, and I just hit a bunch of them, and, you know, if I find one, DPCI, that's it. And you're welcome to come along. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Can we wait till July? Because I have got to spend money on... Oh, James, you are just now here, so I want to show you. Here's where we are in the Capitol. I showed a couple people earlier in the stream, but let's look at it again. So Susan and her kiddo came over today and helped. So that's one wall. We've got most of the sidewalk and the porch. That's the east side. That's the far side over there with sidewalk. Another wall going. All the bits, all the table bits are in place. We can slide them together. Sidewalk all the way around's done. Far porch is done. So it's coming along. Again, I don't think it's going to be done by July, but, you know, hope springs eternal. So anyway, that's where we are with that. It's coming along. 62,000 pieces. I think once you knock 10,000 off the sidewalk itself, it's probably doable at that point. Tim was telling me that with that many pieces over 2 months, it's like doing 1,000 set day. It's like building 1,000 piece set a day, which is great. Yeah, exactly. 1% done. But the sidewalk's done, so that's like 10,000 pieces off of 60,000. So that's like 16%. I don't know what the math is on that. But it's pretty good. I mean, it's coming along. And once like some of the walls are done, it's like easy to pattern that and just get that knocked out. So it's exciting. All right, so this guy has to sit in the middle here, and we're going to it's not really, and I keep wanting to like spin it around, but I can't. It's not terribly detailed. Like, it's just a big half a sphere with some stuff in between it. And again, depending on which one you look at, it doesn't seem to be consistent between designs. Like, it doesn't get far before you don't even see it anymore. Like, we're already into the landing craft, and what is that? That's interesting. Kind of looks like a T6 shuttle, but it's not quite. So let's go back to this one because this is probably the most detailed one. I don't know how big that is. And this is probably somebody's rendering, so we just have to kind of take it for granted. Also, we have to keep in mind that I picked a certain part color, this are dark blue, because the I forget what the other color wasn't available in those slope parts. So, and I'm just trying to throw some color in here because the more aesthetic it gets, the more at this size a big ship starts to look kind of bland. I ran into a lot of Star Destroyers. You're looking at my arm. Oh, yeah. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. So, yeah, this is what we're looking at. The detail is, when it gets to be a big ship like this, you lose a lot of detail when you make it a microfighter. So when I was doing Star Destroyers, everybody's probably got the Star Destroyer microfighter, but you don't see all the turbo lasers, and you don't see all the greebling, and you barely see like the tower shield generators and the even on the Imperial 1 Star Destroyer, the giant, I forget what that X portion of the tower is called. I think it's just like a radio tower or something. You don't see that. So what you can throw in here is kind of important, but all the greebling right here is going to be lost because this guy's going to be sitting on it. Probably on a plate. So let's just jam him on this because that's probably going to be the most likely thing to sit in between these guys. But again, this is a odd piece. So that's 3 pieces or 3 studs, and then it's 3 studs that way because that looks like a good section, or that looks like a good size. Any bigger than that and it looks different, it's going to start looking different from that. So we either jumper it or we turn these 1x1 bricks into some sort of bracketing system, and we have to keep in mind. I have to keep in mind that I have to attach these guys somehow, and I don't want to do illegal pin building techniques in between here, because A, it's illegal. B, it doesn't hold together well. I mean, if you've got a lot of pins, that's, you know, those half pins, those are great. They can put those into tubes and then have them connect on the top, but I don't like using the pins like that. And then that also doesn't allow for anything to be in between here. So, and it looks like it's got some like weird areas right in here. I don't even know what you'd really call those, but like if I put, let's see, round plate. So we can get a, like these guys. And then just colored it differently. That'd probably be enough. Dark bluish gray. It sticks out a little bit. Yeah, I don't like that. Oh, look, they've added the heart piece. That's nice. Oh, they've added a star. How big is that star? That's way too big. So I have to, for the capital, the top statue is, it's not called Lady Liberty, but it's like, I think it's just called Justice or Lady Justice or something. And she has a saber, and then she's holding a star, and she's all white, and the star is gold. So at the time of the designing, there was no star in studio, and it doesn't look like there is now. But so I had to, like, I found a starfish and put it in there because I wasn't sure if that would. See, there's a friend's accessory. I don't know. Yeah, that would work. That'd be perfect. Just checking. Nope, not in yellow. How about... Oh, and here's the thing you can do. You can go into here and click this, and it'll open up the page, and it'll say what colors they're available in. So you didn't have to sit there and keep guessing. Oh, and this is only going to be in pink, isn't it? Oh, bright light orange. Perfect. Guess what's going to be going on the Capitol? Bright light orange. Padam. See? Has nothing to do with this. Just thought I'd share. I'll save that over to the Capitol build file. Okay, so let's see. This guy has to sit in there somehow. So again, we were at Barks for Beers today, just to bring up a bit of conversation while I'm talking about this. And we did Skull Mechanics, and we did Live Oak, and we did a new one called Orf, which is a really small one off of Highway 71. And I think they were a little overwhelmed with the number of people who were there because it was all Barks for Beers people. But it was a cute little place. It had a giant tree in front of it, and it just looked like a nice, cozy place. Like, normally it would be a great place to go. But there were easily 3 times as many people as I think they normally probably should have been handling. They were out of Barks for Beers glasses. They were out of passports. They were constantly washing cups. So, I mean, it was the beer we had was, there was one that had like a ginger and a jasmine flavor to it. It was really delicious. But they seemed just entirely overwhelmed. And I feel bad, but at the same time I'm like, you guys signed up for this. You know what you did. So let's do one by one. Stud. I just want to see if maybe we could do. Because these are always things that you can put in to switch up the direction of where your bricks are going to be. And after this, I don't have any idea. But it looks like there's a bit of round. Oh, I don't want that. A little bulb right here maybe on either side. So we could almost do that on either of these. But again, I have to figure out how to connect these. You know, I just had an idea. This might be kind of one by... Oh, but then I'd still have to connect those. Huh. By 6 plates. It's maybe a bit of a cheat. Oh, and again... Oh, you know what? I don't have collision turned on. So, that gives us that, but you can see, and what I was going to do is flip it over and flip it over again. So, oh, no, I was actually going to do that, and that, and that. It has to fit in there, it has to fit in there, and has to fit in there. So, the problem with that is it's not, it's going to push, so I could probably put like a 1x3 on one side of these. Right? And then I could jumper this and have him sit in the middle there. But how, I mean, these technically aren't still together. They're just kind of together by convenience. I'm going to have to play with this and see, because I've got a bunch of these guys. I don't know if they're easily accessible or not. Everything's kind of bunched up with the Capitol. Oh, I don't have actually a bunch. I've got 3. Nope, I only have 4. Yep, that's all I got of those. Thought I had more than that. So in real life, In real life, I've got these guys. Oh, I have a fourth one. Maybe that'll work. Man, I don't know what this music is. What is this? And then 1x6, 1x6, 1x6. So these, oh, you know what else? This may not be. So this is kind of what I'm trying to do. And then this guy's flipped over, and then this guy's flipped like this. Oh, you know what? That's probably not going to work. Because and I'll show you why. This isn't being held together by anything in the middle, this stripe. All right, well, that sorts that. So just an idea. But what I might want to do is figure out how to hold these together. I guess these guys could be a little higher up. Is that going to be too big? Sometimes I really don't like the fact that I can't do like one plate with studs on either side. I mean, there's ways you can cheat it. 1x1 clip. With the thin Technic lift arms. So let's see, 1x4 lift arm. Let's just do lift arm. The lift arms with the studs on the top of it. Because we have those. I mean, there are some of those. I don't know if they're here or not. I don't know if they're called lift arms. Instead of the snot bricks, how about the 1x1 Technic bricks? Right. With the thin Technic lift arms between the top and bottom. I see what you're saying. So like, took me a second. Trying to think. And then, you know what, that could be the, then I could put pins in between because these are offset. So I could put a pin in between to make it a seat. So if I did, I could do 2 of these probably. And then, so yeah, that works. I'm trying to think of the 1x1 Technic bricks. These guys? Because then you'd have to put a pin in them. Or, and I'm not opposed to doing Technic pin stuff. But I don't know if, because the Technic arms are, and I have no idea why the resolution is so weird on this. I guess it's something to do with the OBS maybe is mucking with it. You might have to do a double pin to be able to get through to the other, because you can do that and then, although, no. You could still do half a pin. I see what you're saying. So then you can do this, and then on either side, come on. Burp. Like so. And then copy, copy. So the only problem with this, and this is good, is this is, I guess, technically illegal. I could kind of goof that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is like I could do, this is still kind of an odd number, but I could put like half pins in that. And then, or, I mean, even, you know, because this has just got a big old bar in the middle of it. Just sit that on top like that. Actually, it'd be better to do a 2x3 plate. I can do it long ways like this. Doop, doop, doop. And then do 2 pins to kind of keep it stable. That would be pretty good. And then that would give me the ability to put something underneath. So that'd be kind of cool. I like that. And then that's in the middle. And then, so how, run pins for the bottom of your seat. Yeah. So how do people feel about, because I can easily take, this isn't, I mean, I can easily take a pin and put it in there and just smush it all the way down as far as it'll go. I don't know how far that will go. And it's not technically illegal. Stupid chair. So I can take, because that would hold them together really well, but it would also create more of a distance. And I don't know if I can get to any. So if you just do this, I don't know how far those go down. Half pin, half pin. Somebody saw me doing this the other day and they're like, oh, that's a totally illegal build. I'm like, I know it. It works great. Because, I mean, that goes together well, right? But it doesn't leave any space. So if we're doing, where are my lift arms? Oh, where are my flat lift arms? Well, I sure thought I had more flat lift arms than that. So I was looking for something like this too. This piece. But I don't know. I don't think I've got anything that big. I don't think they come any bigger than that. Thought that would be an interesting way to do it. But I don't, I mean, that at that point it's a plate. It's a 1x2 plate. So that's not any better. Well, crap. I wanted to actually physically play with this to see if I could figure it out. But I don't know where my bag of my bag of flat lift arms are. I've got a bunch of regular lift arms. All right, this is getting unruly. Oh. This might be a catastrophe, but I need to get this out. Here's my bucket of lift arms. Because I thought I had a separate bag of just the flat ones, but I don't see that. I mean, I've got like, this is how much Technic I have. This is like the extent of my Lift Army stuff. Here, I mean, these little guys, these all barely, I mean, that's the biggest one I've got. But surely, I've got some in here that I just am not aware of. Because the flat ones may sink to the bottom, the skinny ones. But again, I don't have a whole lot of Technic, so I might not be able to actually find flat ones or not. So double pin it. Oh, I see. So you're talking about get that out of the way. So it would still be somewhat snot build, but then get rid of this. That lift arm is entirely too fat as well. Do a little smaller one. Get rid of that and move this guy over here. And we can do pins, Technic pins. Oh. This is the one thing I don't like about some of the studio. Oh, pins. Is sometimes sorting through the available parts is like, nobody needs the rest of this stuff. I don't know why it takes so long to get down to the part I need. I just need, oh, why isn't it just right here? Technic brick in place of, have the bar vertical. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. So instead of having these guys, put these guys in here. That way they don't have to be, yeah, I see. So, and I can even do the half clip, the half. Hi, Greg. Boo. And then I can do, doot doot. Get rid of this guy. And do this. And then that. C'est ça. So that's good. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm gonna have to get it to actually line up right because it's not lined up. But I see where you're going with that. That's actually brilliant. Get these out of the way and I can line this up a little better. Because then what I can do is, and I can use a smaller lift arm there too, but what I can do now is I can do greebling on the inside of those these things without having to worry about keeping them together. But I can also do I can do 2x3 plates like so. And there should be enough. Oh, there's just not enough room. But I can make that work with can just do 1x3 plates at that point. Just to make something to hold those together. Won't hold them together really well, but I could also probably use corner plates. Because that will hold this brick and these two bricks together there, but it won't hold these two to that. But the combination of all this held together might hold it together. And I might be able to test that out. So let's, I've got like 15 minutes or so left. Somebody texting me? It's my son texting me from the other room. So let's do this just to see what it feels like, because I don't do this that often where I like do practice what I'm building. So let's get rid of these half pins, but oh, that one went shooting off into the other world. Oh, I don't have any. I didn't do that. You guys didn't see me do that. What I can do is just test it with, what does the inside of this look like? I forgot. That is a 2x2, a 1x2, a snot brick. 1x2. Okay. So, 1x2s. Got a few minutes left. Let's work on this. So, and then I need, oh, I may have to go over here to get that. Didn't think I'd be building a whole lot of stuff. So we got that, and we've got a 1x1 plate and a 1x2 plate. Whew. We got a couple of these guys in a bag that needs to be replaced. And then a 1x3. So we've got these guys, and I'm just gonna do a since I don't have actually a flat lift arm. Oh wait, I kind of do. Is it the right size? Look at that. I do. Like that, and then so 2 1x2s. Ta-da! And then that, and then that. And then that, and then, yeah, I need another one of those. I'm just putting in everything I got here. And then a 1x3. Woo! Reflexes. I'm not drinking enough beer. so then I need another one of these. And a bunch of other 1x2s. Another couple 1x1s. And a couple more of these guys. So this is the fun part of figuring stuff out, is sometimes you just got to figure out where it's all going to go together. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Like, I like this idea, but I'm wondering if there's no, since there's no friction. Don't need that one. I need another 2x3. And this may be the only downside. Oh, it's in there. Okay. Is there's not enough friction in there for it to work. But again, eek! I know it's trying. I know it's trying. Oh, that's because it's too high. Is that what I did? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. Well, poop. Let's just try it with a 5. Because that should not be that close together. Ah. This may be entirely too fragile, but I think I can figure out the internal part where it's being held together. There just may not be enough to hold it together right here. But it's so close. Yeah, it's a little squiggly. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little squiggly. But I think it might be doable. I'm wondering too, instead of flat pins, now that I've got a bar in there, I'm wondering if I could just use that, because making it a half pin is not gonna, or making it a one of these, it's not gonna make any difference. It's still gonna be, yeah, it's gonna need a full friction pin in there. So let's do a full friction pin. Where's my bag? But then a full friction pin will necessarily cause it to stick out a little bit, and it won't be, I mean, you can still use a flat, right? You can still use a flat, but then they'll stick out. So might be able to do something with that. Now this is also not this. We're just going to make allowances because I don't have a shorter one of these handy. This may also not be very swooshable. Greg, swooshable. I gave my son a bunch of crap last week because I had to explain to him what swooshable meant. He either knew and didn't want to say anything, or he didn't want to say anything, or he didn't know. Let's do this. It's not gonna work that way. I have another. I have another set that's I have another oh, this is gonna be. Maybe I have to put this in the other way. I have another set, another microfighter that I built that's very touchy like this. It was the Rogue Shadow. That it worked, but man, there was a bit. there was a bit that was just not happy. It was like a little bit of flanging, a little bit of engine stuff. Oh, how did I pull that off? That's not legal. This is supposed to be the other way. It works, but like I didn't really realize how crappy it was until I put it together in real life, and I was like, oh my god, I have got to redo this because it's not happy at all. So yeah, that's a good start. I think I might kind of roll with this. It's really kind of touch and go here in the middle. I mean, I like it. If I had two of these, and then I could beam these together across, and then like put a 2x3 in the middle of it where he could sit, and then even just cover these up with something. Just put like a tile on that. You can do a 1x4 or 1x1 tile. So James, I don't know if you saw this earlier. This is my Geonosian fighter. Speaking of swooshable, this might suffer a drop test too. I don't want to do it right now, but this is tight. This like worked out really well. I was really happy with this. The only problem is I can't mount it on, it's upside down. So it's got a, instead of sitting on a regular plate, it's sitting on that. But I mean, so it turned out pretty good. So this is, I think we're going to leave it at about here. I might work on this a little bit. I think I might try to space it out in the middle a little bit and maybe try to get, I don't like putting the 1x2 bricks in the middle of it. It might be too far apart, but this might work out pretty well. As long as you're not too, janky with it. It might sit and people will be like, oh, that's that ship, that kind of thing. So I think I might leave it about there. I'll work in this a little bit to reflect what we did, but this is pretty much it. Let me see if I can get all these back together here. But this is pretty much what we did. So that works pretty well. I got to put the actual friction pins in here instead of these half pins, but that's pretty much it. I'll try to finish it this week, and I'll post the finished one on Instagram for everybody to look at, and then we'll go from there. So if you're watching this and you didn't get a chance to look at all the other things that I had pulled up, the shoebox full of parted out things, and want to vote on which one to do next, I'll put a link in the description about which ones I've got parted out and are ready to buy from BrickLink, so we can maybe build next week or in 2 weeks. If you have any suggestions about ships you'd like to see that aren't maybe on the giant list of stuff that I'm designing, just let me know. And voice is totally going out. Hopefully by next week I'll have more of the capital built and I'll be able to show that off a bit. But thanks for those who've dropped by. I appreciate it. You guys have a good Saturday, and we'll see you next week.